welcome back to another video. This really popped when I saw it. That to me is a monster increase. Again, this book got hot. This book is ready to go higher. So let's jump right into it. We are back today with another statue review from Diamond Select Toys. Without further ado, let's get into the review. What is going on, YouTube? This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics Collectibles, and welcome back to another video. Today we're here for Cop or Drop. This is episode number 10, believe it or not, and where I look at one book that I'd definitely be dropping in this market, staying away from, definitely selling if I own a copy, and of course one book that I'd actually be copying, buying, adding to the collection right now if I could. But before we get into the video, guys, like always, I'm going to ask you, if you are not a current subscriber of the channel, do me a favor and click that subscribe button for me. It does help the channel out, and of course I want you to tap that like button because it helps the algorithm out, and of course turn on notifications because it lets you guys know when I post new videos. If you guys haven't noticed, I am getting over a big time cold, so bear with me through this video. I had to miss the Hot 10 breakdown of the week last week, so I'm hoping I can get that out for you at the beginning of this week and then catch up with the new breakdown at the end of this week on Thursday as usual. But we're here for Cop or Drop, guys, and we're talking about two books that one I want to buy and one I definitely want to sell. Now, with the market that has been pulling back and correcting, there are a lot of big books out there right now that I think that we should be buying. I always take these times as an opportunity to buy. It's like the stock market when great stocks get hit and they're at levels that we think that they should be bought at. We should be jumping on them, not panic selling. And I think I see a lot of panic selling right now out there in the market. You could see on all these heritage auctions and comic lick auctions and all these comic connect auctions, these books are selling for about 20 to 30% less than where they were just about 6 months to a year ago. So we're going to talk a little bit about that in my cop for the week, but we're going to start with the drop. Now, like I said last week, guys, it has been really hard to find books to drop in this market because of all the price corrections that are going on. If I had a choice, I would not be selling anything right now if I have in my collection, because I don't think you're going to get the true value for that book that you would have gotten over the past 6 months to 1 year. So the book I chose this week was a copy of Conan the Barbarian #1. Now, let me start off by saying this is a great book and a great long-term key to keep in your collection. But if you have to get rid of a book and you don't want to hold this thing long term, I think now's a great time to let this one go. And if it does decide to come back price wise, you could always add it back later on. So why did I choose to let this one go? Is one, because we just know that Marvel let its license to produce Conan the Barbarian comics just expired. With that said, I don't think they own the rights to make Conan movies. With that said, again, that now's a great time. I think you're not going to see a lot of Conan stuff being put out in the market. I know there's going to be a Red Sonja series on Netflix that they're talking about doing, so if that comes to fruition, I'm not sure if they can use the character or not. With that said, guys, again, we're going to go right into the numbers like we always do. I took a 7.0 copy of this book because it is rather cheap and higher grade, so a 7.0. The 2020 average for this book was $300 on 24 sales. The 2021 average was $532 on 26 sales, so we came nowhere near that double. The 12-month rolling average was $606. The 90-day average is $614, and the last sale down to $613 June of this year, so probably only within the last week or so. This book really hasn't corrected, which is great, which lets me to believe that maybe it's immune to the correction we're getting, or maybe it just hasn't had the amount of sales that we've needed to see for it to start correcting. Regardless, like I said before, if you want to hold on to this book long term, I think it's awesome, but I also think that you're not going to get some of the major pops that we've been seeing over the past couple of years, even down the line. I think book will continue to go up. However, how much it will go up is yet to be determined. So again, a book that I'd love to have in my collection. I have owned this one in the past, but for the future, I'm not sure how much more pop we're going to get over the next 5 to 10 years. That's why for me, it makes a good time to sell this book. It really hasn't had a correction yet, which is great time to sell. But number two, I'm not sure how much it's going to go up in the near term. So you can always add this book back later, I think, for around the same price, so you can put some money in your pocket while you can. So this is my drop for the week. Like I said, it's been harder and harder to find books that I kind of want to let go, but because this one really hasn't come in too much, I think it's a great time to sell because I don't know how much it's going to go back up in the near term, like I said. So that's my drop for this week. My buy for this week, or my cop, is a massive key. Now, I brought this up for a certain reason, because A lot of the blue chip keys out there right now, guys, have been coming in, and they've been coming in big time, which makes me believe that, you know what, now is a great time to pounce on some of these big boys. And if I had to pick a big boy that I was going to buy right now, it's going to be none other than Amazing Fantasy number 15. So why am I copying this book? Well, obviously, it's one of the biggest grails out there right now, and most people want to go out and buy this book if they can. But the price drops that I've seen over this one, over the last couple of sales in certain grades, makes me think it may come in a little more, and I think it's the perfect opportunity for somebody out there who doesn't own a copy, and they want to go out there and buy a copy for the long term. Again, I say long term, guys, because I'm not buying this book right now and then holding on to it for a year and trying to sell it, because you're not going to get the bang for your buck. You're probably not even going to make any money. You may actually lose money by doing that right now, even on this big key. You want to buy these books because you want them in your collection for the long term. So we're going to go into the numbers on this one. We're going to take a 2.5 because, you know, some of the numbers out there right now, this is probably the biggest price dollar drop in the 2.5 range, because I wanted to show you guys that drop. Okay, so we're going to start off with the 2020 average at a 2.5 blue label. The $13,595 on 9 sales. The 2021 average was $29,217, so we got way more than a double over that year's time. The 12-month rolling average was $37,870 on 9 sales as well. The 90-day average boosted all the way up to $43,440 on 2 sales, believe it or not. And the last sale, guys, just dropped down to $34,080 at this grade, a massive drop. We're talking about a 25% decrease from the 90-day average, roughly. Just a monster drop in this book. And whenever I go out and I try to buy new books, regardless of what the book is, I am always trying to get under the last sale. That's what I'm using as my parameter when I buy books. Whether they're big books, whether they're small books, I'm trying to get under that last sale, because I do not know, you know, is that last sale an anomaly? Is it the trend? We're going to find out in this book the next time we get a sale on this one. If that was a one-time thing, I don't think it is. I think this book is going to come in a little bit, and you could see, starting to see some of the other grades start to come in as well. So to me, I think you just had a 25% drop in this book. Now is a great time to sell if you can get in under that dollar amount, under that last sale. Like I said, not everybody can go out there and buy an AF-15. This is for more the people out there who say, hey, you know what, I've always wanted a copy of this book. It shot up way too quick over the past year and a half, and it's starting to pull down. Now's the trigger. Now's the time I want to jump into this thing and add it to my collection. Now, the reason I bring this up, like I said before, is because some of these blue chip keys can be had now for deals. I don't think this book is going to stay down forever. I do think you're going to get the next pop in this book within the next 5 years or so. It took a long time, if we go back from before 2020, to where we actually got some big pushes in this book. This book was actually decreasing over a 5-year period pre-2020. So now that we've gotten to 2022 and it's just had a massive decrease to 25%, I think now's the time to pounce on this one. Of course, I always give you guys an alternative when I give to cop or drop usually. So my alternative to this, if you don't want to spend the money on Amazing Fantasy 15, is none other than Amazing Spider-Man #1, the first Spider-Man in his own solo series. Now, again, I took a 2.5 grade on this one as well. Again, still a pricey book out there, but this one has started to come down as well. The 2020 average for this book was $5,468. The 2021 average was $9,234 on just 3 sales, believe it or not, in 2021. But again, we almost got that double, didn't quite get there. 12-month rolling average on this one was $10,817, and the 90-day average was $10,800, just down $17. The last sale, believe it or not, again, was at $10,800. So again, we're right at the 90-day average. We're right at the last sale for this book. But some of the books that I see listed at this grade level, it's starting to come in. It's starting to get deeper and deeper into that correction period, just like AF-15 is. So if you can't add an AF-15, the ASM one is the next best option. Now, to anybody out there who hasn't watched my top 10 most expensive Silver Age comics, Amazing Spider-Man #1 was actually, I think, number 5 on that list, and of course AF-15 was number 1. So you're still getting a blue chip Marvel key, a top 10 most expensive key there is if you can't add AF-15. So ASM #1 is a great bet right now, a great buy if you want to hold on to this book as well. for your collection over the next 20 plus years. I do think they're both still great buys right now. If you can afford one of these and you've been looking for one, now is the time to cop one of these big books. With that said, guys, this is my cop or drop episode number 10. Again, I want to remind you guys that it has been harder and harder to find books that I really want to drop in this market, because you're not going to get full market value from most of the stuff out there. There are some books that are still going up in value during this correction, which is great to see, but a lot of the big boys, they're starting to pull in a little bit. Some haven't, some are starting to. So I'd be all over the big boys. This goes for all the big boys, probably everything on that Silver Age list. I would be buying right now, not selling if I could, okay? With that said, a couple of reminders, guys. If you hadn't checked out my Diamond Select Toys review of the Dark Phoenix, make sure you check out that video, guys, because if you're a member of the channel, you have till June 30th in order to become a member to be entered in to win that statue. With that said, guys, this is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles saying thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.